Welcome to The Good Work, a podcast and video series that follows The Event Company, an event design company that specializes in corporate, nonprofit, and social events. Our passion lies in creating one-of-a-kind events that share the good work of organizations we are fortunate to collaborate with. Tune in for conversations with leaders of these great groups, our best advice for your next event, and some behind-the-scenes moments. Now, let us show you the good work. In this episode of The Good Work, we'll introduce to you Natalie Eisenberg, CEO at ClickRain. ClickRain is a marketing technology agency in downtown Sioux Falls. Natalie and Addie will discuss ClickRain's success and the growth, and how their values and culture are at the core of the company. Please welcome to today's podcast, Natalie Eisenberg. Welcome to this week's podcast. I'm so excited to have Natalie Eisenberg here with us. Welcome.
Thank you, friend.
This is
glad to be here.
I know. I'm excited. It's fun to be able to share your story of where you've been, what you're doing now, where you're going, leading this incredible company that does so many good things. So
thank you. And you and I usually are
in between
talking,
events.
You know, we're talking on the sidelines of events just for a few
crazy?
minutes. So we have a little more time today.
I know.
It's cool.
We have a good 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And we don't have any wine here today, unfortunately, but
maybe next time.
we do have tequila over there.
I can make that work.
Pop some of that in there. But yeah, so I've known Natalie for, how many years now? I'm going to say at least a dozen, or at least
10 or
12
15
years.
is what I was going to say.
A long time. So tell us a little bit about what you did in your previous life, all that you're doing now, because really what you did kind of helped pave.
Oh, definitely.
the
Yeah.
path.
I've been, I guess I say I've been working in career for about 15 years, and you were my client for like 10 minutes.
I
remember
know,
that.
I
So
know.
in your prior nonprofit role, you were working there, and I was at a former agency, and we were almost going to work together when you branched out and started the event company.
Own company. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It's crazy and awesome, and so I've seen you from the ground up in your growth, and I have to say that what you've done with the event company is not only just set the gold standard for what events should be in the market, but I think you've raised the water level and made it okay to have fabulously designed and orchestrated events in the market. Probably 15 years ago, that would have been completely out of line for most of us.
Yeah, and it's so funny because our paths have crossed at, like you said, at all these different events over the years. So you've seen a lot of different changes and trends and what it looks like, and it's fun to be. When we get to do events together, like we sat on a little committee in a sense. Would you say committee?
Oh, yeah.
We just recently last May. It's always fun to be able to work with you on that aspect. But
Agreed. So
thank you.
Came from, I'm a hometown girl. So I grew up in Sioux Falls, and I love to say that it's my hometown because I can really speak to how Sioux Falls has been for the last 40 years,
You're not 40.
Oh, yeah. Owning it.
Good job.
Thanks. So Sioux Falls has changed a ton, and it's been really fun to see it all really progress. And so my older brother went to USD, and I thought, that's a good idea. So my best friend from high school and I went to USD, and without a lot of idea of what I wanted to do, I started business school and took an accounting class eventually, which opened my eyes to that side of business and maybe turned me off a little bit to that world. I definitely am more of a creator, more of a creative mind. I work well in conceptual spaces.
I'm not a spreadsheets girl. I love budgets, so that's the thing. But I am not I couldn't sit in a cubicle and crunch numbers all day.
Well, the end of the story is that it's come full circle to me because I'm now handling a lot of accounting type stuff, administrative stuff. But, earlier on, I definitely exercised a lot more creativity. And so out of USD then, having found my place in marketing, I actually had one professor, Dr. Cornett was her name, and it was a PR class, and I remember it really vividly that she held me after class, and I wasn't sure what she was going to tell me. And she had her glasses down on her nose, and she kind of said, you're really good at this. and you look good with a little mascara on your eyes every once in a while. I'm like, okay,
Wow.
I think, and it was kind of a pivotal moment. You know, I was like, oh, I'm really good at this, and I'm a good communicator, and so I pursued it, and through that met Paul Schiller and Scott Lawrence. Kind of through the program down at USD, ended up working at Lawrence and Schiller for 12 years. So came out of college as an account coordinator and got to just be a part of a ton of types of projects and with a bunch of awesome clients and meet a lot of people in the market. And one of those people was Paul Tenhaken. He was a client of mine when he was in a corporate marketing role.
Yeah.
And years later, he gave me a call and said, I've got a position that I think you might be interested in. And I guess the rest is kind of history. So it's been an interesting few years for me.
How incredible. Did you ever kind of forecast or see yourself in this role?
You know, I always, I looked at leaders and thought I could do that job, and I want to eventually. I don't know that I ever really pictured myself being CEO of an agency. I actually always thought I would start a business.
I could see that in you too.
Yeah, I always thought I would start a company, start a business, invent a product, something more entrepreneurial. And it just, you know, that didn't happen. But, you know, now I've been able to buy into a company and kind of experience that side of it. So, but, you know, the skills I think that I've always been confident in, my ability to communicate with people, to kind of address problems, make solutions, keep things simple. They marry up well with the role I'm in now.
So tell me a little bit more about what ClickRain does. Obviously, I've been in the community a long time, so I know personally, but those that are listening and watching, you're not just an agency. Do you like that word agency?
I do.
Okay. Some people just get all agitated in that sense. But
I don't have a problem with agency because I feel like we are agents to our clients and serving
That's a good way to put it,
them. And there's some appeal in being able to be there for them when they need you and that kind of thing. So we do refer to ourselves as an agency. We refer to ourselves as a people-first digital agency. And so that kind of combines the culture component with the technology component that in the space that we're in, because they both hold equal weight in our company. And in the early years, I think ClickRain became known more for social media, whether it be social media management, support, strategy for different organizations. We've really evolved from that and are certainly still providing some strategic work in that category, but not doing hands-on social management so much anymore. We've found that that is done really best by people who are inside the organization.
In it day to day, they know the nuts and bolts of it versus,
Yeah, and they can be there on the spot when things are happening. And so we more provide guidance and support strategy in that category. We build websites, and not only then do we build the website, we help clients to get traffic and the right people to that website to take the action and make the conversion for whatever that business is doing, selling hotel rooms, ice cream, pizza.
Chili Cow people.
Yeah.
Right? It's called Chili Cow, right?
Yes.
My husband just bought some of that. So I was on your site a couple weeks ago and I saw that, the brand there. And then he bought some the other day and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is Chili Cow.
Yeah.
So he read the back of it and And then he opened it for the first time last night. And so he opened it and then there's a little thing on the inside of it. And
cool product.
Good for you guys.
We've gotten the chance to work with Wells Bunny out of Lamar's a little more over the last couple of years, and they're just really exciting. Ice cream is fun anyway. But they're always innovating, and it's fun to be a part of that. So
speaking of innovation, how do you feel like you guys kind of stay up to date on being innovative and showcasing that with your clients? Because it can get hard because you're in the day to day, right? And sometimes you just get stuck in your ways and. But how do you find that you personally as the leader are helping to lead and drive that innovation?
I haven't found it so challenging for our team to know what's happening and know what's changing in the industry. What's become more of a daunting task is deciding what's meaningful at the moment and being organized about rolling that into the company and into our work with clients. Because it's easy to share a happening with the team, but if there's no implementation plan or if we don't know, are we going to adopt this or is it just something out there we should know about? Is it something we should address right now in 6 months or keep on the horizon.
Yeah.
So from my standpoint, it's more about putting together a framework for how to share innovation topics with the team. And so what we've done in the last 6 months or so is we started something called our coffee talks internally. And I'm a big believer in kind of branding something and giving it its own personality and giving it ongoing consistency.
Yeah.
So
Good.
our team knows when they come to coffee talk, what a coffee talk entails. And it entails food and coffee.
Good.
And education.
What if you didn't have coffee at the coffee talk?
That would be good.
People may start to
Be
question.
good. I tried to play the SNL coffee talk
Yeah.
sketch
Awesome.
at the beginning of these, and I think half the staff was like, huh?
I try to do SNL comments in here too, and some people are like, what?
I know.
Yeah.
Well, call me.
Yeah, I will. We'll coffee talk it up.
We can relate. But so coffee talks are once a month
Okay.
across the year. And then we have, if something is notable in the market and one of us notices it, we kind of send it into the coffee talk organizers and they decide where it belongs in the lineup. And if resources are needed for us to implement that type of thing, we put that together from a leadership standpoint.
So is it all internal talk, or do you invite external people in if it's
So far,
something?
it's mostly internal.
Okay.
It's mostly our internal
Interesting.
experts that share then with the appropriate team. And
Yeah.
Coffee Talk is a whole agency, and so these are topics that are really relative to the whole team. There are departmental education times too.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's really something that's design related, the design department might have their own kind of spin-off of a coffee talk to learn about that kind of stuff.
I like that you've got the internal working group,
Yeah.
though, that helps
Yeah.
to delegate those different
just
things.
The structure is helpful.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you think, oh, we need to talk about this, we need to learn about this, we need to share about this, we need to plan for this. And it just kind of goes back burner. So knowing that you've got a slot in every single month to teach and to talk about a hot topic, you can get them on the calendar, and they actually happen.
I love it. And culture, so that's part of your culture, which I like. And I think culture is such a buzzword that we've talked about a lot. But talk to me a little bit about how that starts with your hiring and the posting and how they are integrated in, when I say they, how new staff are integrated into the mix.
Yeah.
Because they have to mesh really well with the culture, the workplace, the
Yeah.
flow, the people.
I know.
What
Yeah.
does that look like
Very
from your
true.
standpoint?
So I find it our responsibility as kind of we were one of the first digital agencies in the market. And so I believe it's on our shoulders to be leading edge in that space, in our craft,
Right.
in our discipline. We were also a culture leader since the very beginning of this company 10, 11 years ago, this February. And so we have to continue innovating in that space as well. Other companies continue to kind of to progress, and so it's important for us to bring new things to the table. Some of the things that I've brought to the table since I've been in this role on the culture side, are beyond perks. We do a lot of fun perk things, team building things. We have a lot of nice offerings, but when I say that we're a people-first company, I want to be able to live up to that in a lot of ways. And that looks like making sure that someone is not working past 5 or 5:30 consistently. In fact, if you come through our office after 5 o'clock, I bet 4 out of 5 days there will be nobody there after 5:30.
That's awesome.
And that doesn't mean people are going home to work on their computers all evening
Right.
long. That means we're not working. And that's a commitment from the top down that we're not going to burn people out. And it's a little bit unique in the agency space because,
Always
a
wanna
lot
be
of times
available
we want
and-
to take care of our
Yeah.
clients,
Yeah.
and that's a natural thing to do. But so making sure we eliminate burnout in that way. We have quarterly check-ins with our team members, and that's kind of a professional and personal check-in, making sure everybody's, things are going okay.
Yep.
And we use our values. We have 7 values in that process, kind of see like, how are you doing in these areas? And we also use those values in our hiring process. So in fact, we actually give an assignment to somebody who's kind of made it through the second round of interviews and say, like, give us your standpoint on each of these values. And so then that's part of what they turn in as we consider
Like they're
them for
physically
employment.
writing it down, like doing
Yeah,
homework?
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a
Yeah. Homework, like you said.
homework.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they usually do something that's kind of their culture-related assignment, and then there's usually a discipline-related homework as well before they get signed on as a team member.
They have to mesh well with the team and mission and values and really where you guys stand on a lot of different aspects.
It's true.
You know, we've had different folks come and go, and as I'm sure you have as well, and they need to be able to feel with the team, right? Like it's not work. Even though it's work, we understand that. But if you are having to put on certain fronts or just feel differently around them, it may not be the best fit.
It's true.
And I think interviews it's so telling in that spot, you know?
They can be. Yeah, they absolutely can be. And we're pretty forthcoming with talking about our company. And I too believe that we've articulated what we are, what we stand for, how we operate pretty well so that it's consistent with every new employee candidate.
Right.
And they can decide if we're a match for them, and we can decide if they're a match for us, because it definitely has to be mutual.
For sure.
So
yeah.
So we've also we've added some benefits over the last year or so since I've been leading the company. We've added paternity and maternity leave paid.
Yeah.
We've added we've added a free birthday holiday.
I love it.
You get a day off for your birthday, like within the week or so of your birthday. Just really emphasizing that we want people to have a great, well-rounded life.
Yeah.
And we truly believe that if people are fulfilled and well and rested, that our clients are going to benefit from it. So it is there too mutually.
Yeah. How do you, I love the birthday thing. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
I think everybody should have
I know.
that.
I like that too.
We've done no Fridays on our team for as long as I can remember.
that.
And it's been just an important part of what we do, because there could be days where we're 15-hour days and we are seeing each other for 30 of those 30 days of the month. So having that time off is important, not only for personally, but professionally, and just making sure we recharge. But how have you been able to communicate that to your clients about the office is closed at 5 or 5:30? I guess, was it a communication piece that you having internally first before you're communicating it externally, or what did that look like? Because that has to be a change. It's a change for a lot of different agencies.
Yeah,
obviously.
ClickRain historically has abided by that, and so that's something that's kind of a legacy quality of our company. So any of the clients that have been working with us for a long time are pretty well aligned with that. Whenever we're talking to a prospect, it's definitely a part of our story and our initial discussion, talking about how balance is a core value to us, and this is how that looks in a client partnership. And over the years, I've realized too that for the most part, if you don't communicate with clients after hours, they don't communicate with you. Yeah. And, it just kind of becomes the norm and the understanding. And then a fire is a true fire, not just a convenience.
Yeah.
So certainly from time to time, something comes up where you need to be there. But overall, it works. And I think they see the benefit of rested, rested employees.
We're starting to see that a little bit more, and it's taken a while, but it's definitely communication with our clients that, Fridays are our time off, and I spend a lot of Fridays at school with the boys and just doing different activities. And we had one client that was not very happy about that, and I made, I think, 7 phone calls to my voicemail, which doesn't make anybody feel good for that matter. But then you've got other clients who, one of them just recently scheduled a meeting for me on a Friday, and I put maybe down and I said, I'll be there if I can, but I'm at school this day. And she responded back and said, oh, we know it's your day off. Don't worry about coming in. We just wanted to make sure that you knew that we were meeting with this person. So it's people like that who not only respect, but they get it, right? They understand the time to be off work and the time to work.
Yeah.
I sometimes have bad habits with boundaries and saying, I'm not going to do an email at this time or whatever.
Yep.
I like to go to bed. I don't know if you know this about me, but with 0 in my inbox, it's cleaned out every single day. And in the hospitality industry, you can't, people expect immediate service. Like when you're staying at a hotel, you can't call to the front desk and ask for a towel and get it 3 days later. Right?
Yeah.
You want it then and you want it now. And so our industry, it's obviously conversation is evolving, but it's making sure that they understand what it's like.
Yeah, I think the clarity is the most important thing, and setting those expectations up front. And And I think we're kind of in this era, we're changing the norms, and it's an opportunity to kind of introduce these practices to somebody who, maybe a woman who, when they were our age, would never have had that chance.
Right. Right.
Maybe it's 20 years beyond for them right now, and they're thinking, "Wow, I never got to do that."
Yeah.
When I was 40 or I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
38. Thank you. I feel like you're my older sister right now.
oh, well,
That's awesome.
We're changing the norms.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, we are. It's pivotal.
Talk to me about, is it called ClickRain Cares, or tell me about that, because I've seen that all throughout social media.
Yeah,
And I
very
mean,
cool.
we are avid followers and watchers. And I think the great part about ClickRain is servant heart and how that integrates in the workplace, but also externally as well, because it's
Yeah.
exuded all throughout that way as well. But talk to us
Absolutely.
about what that looks
Okay.
like. And
So this people first approach that we take, we see it applying to each other internally, to our families at home, to our clients as people, to our clients' customers, and then it applies also to the community. And so we want to make sure that we're using all the resources that we can to take care of the community around us. And a lot of companies do this. Many organizations give back dollars or time. The way we do it under ClickRain Cares is we definitely are doing some in-kind work for organizations that might need a little extra marketing support, website or video or marketing campaign work digitally. We also have our, of course, like staff outings where we go to the banquet and serve together, or we do Rake the Town together. We also implemented VTO, volunteer time off this year. So team members get a little time every month to go do their own thing. But ClickRain Cares as a monetary giving component, the monetary giving component of ClickRain Cares is really putting the giving power in the hands of our team members. And so instead of us as an executive team, a leadership team saying, we've got this fund and we're going to give to these organizations, we have, we take 1% of our profit. At the end of the year, it's divided evenly amongst every team member. And that means a team member that started a week before this date, at least that's the case this past November, everybody that is a part of our team at that given moment gets an even amount of dollars to give to an organization of their choice. And so it makes it personal to that individual, someplace where they have passion, where they have heart, and allows us to spread our giving through our staff and through the hands of them. It's so fun. And we learn about organizations that we maybe never would have considered. And it's really fun to see the team over the course of these few weeks that we're considering where to give. The team shares about, why they're giving to their organization. And then there's a bit of pooling that happens too. Maybe somebody doesn't have a passion point for their dollars. So they
lump
go
it in
together with another. And then you end up giving a really substantial gift. The check itself that an individual is able to give on their own is way more substantial than a gift that I would have been able to give, when in my early years of career.
Right.
Really now even, it's a substantial amount of money. And so everybody has that opportunity. And then when you start to pull them together, it starts to be big bucks, and it starts to be major impact. And, last year for ClickRain Cares, we were able to grant a Make-A-Wish. And so we got to be a part of that entire process and go surprise this young man named Edison. It was a gift.
And you are making a lasting impact well beyond your years.
I think so.
And you're now a part of their family.
Yeah, absolutely. And that one was in particular and particularly awesome because you could really see that on a one-to-one level where that was going. But overall, it's an excellent program and something that we will continue. We bring in organizations every December to kind of tell us about themselves. And
are they from some of the individuals that have their passion projects? Or no?
Sometimes, yeah. And sometimes it's just an organization that maybe came to us mid-year and said, hey, would you give? And we'll say, you know what, we'll put you on the docket to come talk to our team in December. And then the team can consider giving their ClickRain Cares fund to you.
Super admirable. I think it's something that a lot of people should look into.
Yeah. It's very fun.
Yeah. And it's nice because, like you said, you are spreading the wealth throughout the community and having your hands on a lot of different missions and organizations and causes. We get talked to a lot as well about being a part of this event or that event and donating time. We do some gift packs as well in that respect. But it's always nice, and it leaves that impact that sometimes we can't even imagine, whether it is a small campaign or helping boost this, or maybe it's helping with a newsletter or whatever it looks like. But when they're pooling those dollars together as well, like you had mentioned with your staff and your team, the greater good for the community is something that neither one of us would ever imagine. And it's cool that you're doing that from not just the top down, but everybody's involved in that aspect.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I mean, generationally, you'll hear that millennials and Generation Z, they want that meaning in their work. And I think this is one way to allow that with a pretty young staff.
So how many years has Trend Digital been going? Because I remember going 1 year, I think it was at the Hilton. Has it been at the Hilton before, right?
It has.
And there was like Kello trucks that were there. And
live streaming.
It was incredible. And I was just blown away.
Yeah, it's grown and grown. It's been going on 7 years. This will be our 7th annual.
Wow.
And it's going to be at the convention center this year again. We'll have about 400 or so people, and bringing in lots of speakers from around the area, including a couple people from our team, but really experts from this region and beyond.
Yeah.
So speaking on a variety of topics. Last year's conference, we always do a survey post-conference, and we heard from the attendees that they wanted a little more advanced material. And so that'll definitely be the case this year. Yeah. I think everybody... and everybody who's a marketer has become more and more savvy in the digital space over the last several years. So it's become more the norm to be working in digital. So if we can raise everybody's game a little bit, it'd be really fun.
Good for you. I'm so proud of you and the changes that you're implementing. And it's a scary world out there to be a female CEO, but you're doing it, girl.
Yeah.
And you've got an awesome team that helps.
I do have a good team.
Even better.
Very fortunate to have a great team and to have, picked up where our former leader left off and approach it with my own sort of flavor of awesome.
See, I was going to say flair. You said flavor. Yeah. Flavor and flair.
Yeah. Sister.
Well, before I let you go, I'm sure you've seen this, but I've got these top 10 questions that I'm going to ask you. These are quick hitting questions, almost like SNL-ish. I could try to come up with something fun, but I love that you're an SNL girl.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh. I want the first thing that just pops off your brain. Favorite color?
Turquoise.
All-time favorite movie?
Overboard.
Oh, gosh, I love Overboard.
I know.
I just watched a Christmas movie with Kurt Russell in it, and Goldie Hawn came in at the end. I think it was called like The Chronicle or The Christmas.
I've not watched it, but I want
to. So
to.
incredible.
I know,
Have you seen the new Overboard?
No.
I haven't either. I know. It's kind of just bums me out, but
no, I probably will.
We'll see. One song on the soundtrack of your life.
Oh my gosh. I want you to be happier. I want you to be happier.
That's a good song.
It's called Uplift.
Favorite time of the year?
All times. I'm a Four Seasons girl.
There she is, people. Yeah, that's the first answer we've had. Four Seasons girl. Favorite place that you've traveled?
Probably Rio de Janeiro.
Favorite aisle in the grocery store?
Tough one. I'm going to say produce.
That's a good one.
I load up.
We've had some funny ones over the course of these last few months. People have said chips.
I like crackers.
And I didn't realize that chips was a whole aisle, but I think it's chips on one side and then crackers
and cookies. Crackers and cookies and then chips. That's a good aisle.
One superpower. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
To be invisible.
If you could share a meal with one person, living or dead, who would it be? I know.
Grandparents.
If you could eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It would be street tacos.
Oh, yeah, you could have those at breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
Lunch, dinner.
I could go on, though. I love food.
Good. What's your best piece of advice for anyone that's listening or watching?
I would just say be open-minded, be willing to adapt, and be kind. Don't take things too seriously. And the rest will come.
I like it. That was a lot of really good advice. Be kind is probably my most favorite.
Yeah. There's no reason for anything else.
No, I agree.
At all.
I'm so glad that you're here today. It's fun to be able to catch up after all of these years and not be in between events and
I know.
back to back. So
Okay, now let's go drink wine.
thanks for doing all of that you do.
Thank you, Addie.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to today's episode of The Good Work, and a special thank you to my friend Natalie for joining us and for sharing more about ClickRain. You won't want to miss next week's episode as we get to know more about the team at the event company and how they find balance and sometimes the crazy event schedule that we have. Don't forget to subscribe to The Good Work on YouTube and iTunes and follow the event company on social media to stay up to date on the good work that we are part of each day.